Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks, and starting with Amazon here on the daily chart. As we picked up last time, we're looking for still another move down here for Amazon, and as mentioned, we can see that there's pretty good support at each of these price points at 3,100, 200 and 300. So it's going to be a bumpy ride. I don't know if we'll get down to the 3,000, but let's go in and have a look at this. I think I'm putting this over here now for this, and we're looking at 5 waves moving down through here. Sorry for the background noise, but so from the top here, we're looking at an A, B, C here for W, an A and a B and a C here for the X, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave for wave 1 and wave 2, and then wave 3, 4, 5 moving down. But yeah, look, as I mentioned, it's going to get quite bouncy all the way through here, so smaller position sizes and wider stops, and go for the ride. Alrighty, let's move along to Alphabet. So with Alphabet here, I know that this is impulsive to the upside, and you know the markets could move up higher from this point. So if we just took the top here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to this point here, it does mean that you could probably go long above here somewhere for that, just in case I'm wrong, but otherwise we'll be looking for a move down somewhere into here within 5 waves with that structure there, looking at it as an A wave and an A and a B and a C. So it's a bit difficult to call a low in on this particular structure for this point. So I'm looking for most stocks to roll over, even though they look bullish. So at the same time, the current highs that we have in the market here, if they're breached, then we'll be going further up for this. But do understand too, if this moves up through here, there will be a little classic trading levels pattern at that point there for Alphabet, Google in that case, and this is obviously 100 ticks at this point. So yeah. Apple. So with Apple, I did do a bit of work on this, going back a little bit to the lows here, which I hadn't done before, so I'll probably need to go and check this, but I was thinking at this point here that the 2008 high here as a grand super cycle, because it's taken quite a few years to get to that point, and I was also wondering if I should be treating Bitcoin like this too, starting from that point, that low there, and building up. But anyway, that's another story. And then this would make wave 1 here of the next degree high, so grand super cycle and super cycle. I could probably drop it down 1 as well. I'm just sort of still mulling it over, so don't go throwing stuff yet. So yeah, then after super cycle is cycles, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I mean, the interesting point about these here too is that this is pulled back nicely to 61.8%. This one has as well. I can't remember on this one, but yeah, so the nice wave 1s and 2s in that case. And then would also look at from wave 1 and 2 here of cycle degree, then primary degree wave 1 and 2. So that's why I've just sort of changed this. And then we've got intermediate wave 1 and 2. This is also, all of these are pulled back to their 61.8% quite nicely. So 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. So because I've relabeled all of this, I just wanted to share that a little bit. So yeah, wave 3. So it does tighten things up here a little bit. So from here we've got wave 4, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for wave 5. Now I can count 5 waves up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It all fits quite nicely as 5 of 5 of 5 of 3, but we would need to see this roll over from here. If we did make another high from here, I'd be very careful about chasing that to the upside, but there's a good reason for that. So if I'm on the 4-hour chart here from this low here, I can count it. Let's just wind that in a little bit and just go to the 4-hour chart and So I did look at it another way in terms of 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth and fifth here for the third, and the fourth here, and then looking at this to have one more high here. We're at the 180, so you know, number 8's always a profit-taking number. It's been hit here, of course. But this move here is in 3 waves. So this is bullish corrective. We will take that top out. But I was just wondering if we go down here first for that in line with the rest of the markets, or it's going to do its own thing and pop up at that point for wave 5. You know, the stochastics are pulling back nicely for that move, you know, higher at that point. So we just need to be a little bit careful. Just going back to the daily chart. So yeah, that's what this is about here. There's a good possibility that we could just move up there. So if that was the case, then I'll need to put wave 1 over here for that. Just that this spike threw me out a little bit here. Not quite sure how to approach that, but yeah, let's just see how we go. I mean, look, even if it made another high here, it still need an ABC pullback and would get a classic trading levels pattern at this level here. And it may not even be wave 5 here. It might be also 5 waves up for wave 1 and back for 2, and then going up higher at that point, you know what I mean? But it would give us that classic trading levels pattern at that level there. So on the bullish side there, it would look like, what's the wrong one? Is it this one here? Yeah, so if this was the 180 here, if this was the 180 here, and we're here at the moment, if we do push up here, we're going to get this pullback here, right? So we'll be able to go long above here, and get a better entry into this point here as well. So we're not going to miss anything. I'm just pointing out that yeah, just a little bit of a trick in there, but otherwise we'll look for one more move down here, and we can buy down here. So we'll get it. It just needs a little bit of patience at that point. Let's just go to the tick chart and look at the bearish side of this, so to speak. So on the bearish side of this, we're looking at this here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave over here for 2. We could probably put that there, which would be a bit better, but it doesn't matter at that point. So yeah, we can go long above here, but we're not going to go long above here. We'll put that over here, and that's where we'll look to go long. We need to make that other high above the level here first. So we don't need to worry about that just yet. So I'll just give this time just to see if this drops further through here as sort of expecting. So if you see any sort of weakness, well, then you can look to short that. I know the indices are rallying in the off hours in the Asian market, but the stocks will pull them down when they're ready. So Square is the next one. So we're looking for, well, an A wave, a B wave, and then a C wave down here. So we've got wave 3 here, and we're looking for wave 4. I think that might be a little bit of an error there. I mean, technically I'd put that wave 4 there for that. We're looking for that wave 4 and down, but it's not that simple on the tick chart because obviously the data has changed a little bit. We didn't get that big spike there for that. So yeah, so I was just working this here. I thought I can look at this as wave 4 being here completed, and then look at wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 here and 2 here, and continuing down, you know, further down here for this, which is a good case for that. Otherwise, we need to look at this as the A wave here, and then a little A, B, and C wave here for the green wave B here, and then looking for this to push up into wave C or 4 here. It's possible, but any breach, any sort of drop too much lower than this, there will be support between that high and that low there over here, but anything lower than that will be moving down. So I don't know if we're in the wave 4 or we finished it. I mean, it's a bit small for a wave 4 because it's smaller than the previous wave 4, so I think it's still got more to go in here. I don't see a really good trade in here at the moment, so we'll just leave Square. And Facebook as well. So Facebook is another one that I've gone back in time because I haven't done that before. Let's just... Yeah, it's kind of interesting, really. So from, oops, what have we got here? I think that's about it, really. It's all the data I've got back to 2013 here. But all of this trend here, well, it's all the same trend. It's all part of one particular thing. I don't know if it's super cycle or cycle in this particular instance, but it has taken quite a few years to do all of that. So I was thinking 1 and 2 here, and then 1 ABC for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So going from wave 2 to wave 3 up here. Not that there's a big change in anything that I've had from last time. It's just that I wanted to go back over, and I need to go back over and check these again. It's just that I just thought I'd start going back over some of these major stocks back to their beginnings in a way, you know. With Meta here, Facebook Meta, no sort of real change here. There is a possibility that we can go higher, but we would need a classic trading level set up on the midpoint for that. Otherwise, we're looking for a continued move lower for YFC, and this is the 38.2% retracement level down here at 285 for this, but obviously the 300 being a large number will skew what happens at that particular point in time. Now, so I'm still expecting it to move down. If it finds support on the midpoint, which is the midpoint is just halfway between the 300 and the 400 here, and the Fibonacci sequence is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here. It would need a classic trading levels pattern. That's that little picture here for that. Okay, so we can go to the tick chart and have a look at that. So that 5T there just means the tick chart, and this little picture here is just the classic trading levels pattern here. So we've had the arrival, the reaction. We need the first high above the level, which would be this one here, and then we'll have to wait for the ABC at that point and then move in at that stage. That would help us move to the upside. So we can look at that on the 5 tick chart first. So it would look a little bit like this here. Let me just maybe even get in a bit more data here. So from this low here, looking it up as wave 1 here and back for wave 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the extensions in the 5th wave here for wave 1, and then an A and a B and a C, hitting on this trend line here. There is basically, looks like there is sort of 5 waves within that. It'll also be pretty close to the 61.8%, probably a little bit lower. So yeah, just into this space here. So we'll just put that in there for this 50-60%. So look, if this is the case and the market starts to move up, well, then obviously we normally go long above the B wave, but that's a long way from wave C here. So we could just draw a line through here, but also treat this here as a classic trading levels pattern as well, because the market could rally to this point and then sort of drop from that point, you know, after it's done this here. So waiting for a classic trading levels pattern at that level there would be what's required. So let's just move this up. There will be obviously be a reaction from that point, and then there would be a move up from that point, so on, and then a move up. So you really want to make sure that you got support on that line rather than getting in just before that line or breach of that line. It will come back and test it. So anyway, that's the long side of it, and the short side of it on the 100 ticks here. Let's just get in a bit more data for this. That's enough. So yeah, so looking at wave X here and just looking for that move down through here, which has started, but obviously we've only got 3 waves here to the 61.8%, so that's a little bit of an issue. I mean, if we're going to go short, we could have gone short below this 5-wave sequence and had the stop above that. So yeah, now it's a little bit sort of tricky. So this will be 5 waves coming down here, and there'll be support there and so on, and there'll be a bounce off the 330, always a bounce off number 3, and and then moving lower at that point. So you really need to wait for this to finish off here and move in. So we'll look at that in the next session when we come back. But further downside for all of this, but just in case I got it wrong, then we'll be going long above here, but even going long above here, or drawing a line through here. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Let's see how it opens. And Microsoft on the daily chart here. So the same thing as again as well. I'm expecting, as you can start to pick up, and as we picking up from last time, we're still looking for this wave 4 to finish. We're still looking for more downside. Now, obviously, I know that there is a case for a move higher with all of these as well. So we just need to be prepared about that. So you might be bullish, and that's fine. But all I'm mentioning here is that there's a good case for more bearish downside. And if you're bullish, just not to get lost in that bullishness and be a bit more cautious of what you're doing on that side of it. Let's just check in with the 100 ticks. So from the top here, we're counting it down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and ABC for 2 here. And yeah, as you can see here, I've got this playing out as 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So down for the third wave, fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave here. So I think that the trade here will be obviously the wave 2 over here. So we're looking for one more low here, which will be down into the 5. So from 30 to 40 here, the Fibonacci numbers can run 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So we can put 8 in. When we put 8 in, we can also put in group 2 here as well, but I won't do that at the moment, which will capture a lot of this quite nicely. But yeah, let's just see if we get this here, because the interesting part at that point is that, well, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we get 5 waves, well, then after 5 waves, we get some sort of correction, and then we would see another 5 down. So the short trade really is over this side over here for this. So nothing really to get into at the moment with all of this, but anyway, that's the pathway for Microsoft. Look, I haven't set up any of the banks just yet, so I won't worry about that. I'll just leave the video as it is at the moment for this. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.